Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to today's session. Today we are going to discuss the opportunities of higher studies in Scandinavian country. I am Dr. Emran Hasan. I have done my bachelor from Ibrahim Medical College and I am a graduate from University of Oslo, now working as Outbreak Investigation Officer in IEDCR. So let's start our session. So here I am, Imran. Uh, as you can see, this is a photo from Copenhagen, Denmark. First of all, I will discuss a bit about the Scandinavia, which part of the world is known as Scandinavia. Scandinavia is the northern part of Europe. The 4 or 5 countries of Northern Europe is known as Scandinavian countries, which includes one of these is Denmark, and then Finland, Norway, and Sweden. Today, we are going to discuss the higher studies opportunities in these countries, and we have very renowned universities and high-ranked universities in these countries where medical students can pursue their post-graduation, and there are opportunities of PhD as well. So mainly we will discuss today focus universities of Norway and Sweden, because in these two countries you have high opportunities of getting scholarships, which is a vital part and very important issue while we are pursuing our post-graduation and planning for it. So let's begin. Here you can see I have made a chart of top ranked universities of these 4 countries, starting from Norway and then Sweden, Finland, and Denmark. As you can see, we have in the first row, we have the sessions. We have session, usually they have session 2. Sweden, we have 2 sessions, spring and autumn, but scholarship opportunities for international students are only available in autumn session. If you can see in Finland and Denmark, you can apply in both sessions, autumn and spring. But for Norway and Sweden, I recommend personally to apply only in autumn session. The universities in which you can apply in Norway, you have Bergen, University of Bergen, UiO, that is University of Oslo, and OsloMet. OsloMet is a private university, but is in a higher rank. You can get opportunities for not the specifically public health or global health, but you have subjects related to life sciences. But this is an opportunity you can actually apply. You can have diversities, and you can apply for other opportunities, like if you are not specifically determined to have or pursue your career in global health or public health, you can choose the subject related to life sciences. It is one of them, which will allow you to apply on one of those subjects. In Sweden, we have very well-known universities and renowned and high-ranked universities. One of those is Karolinska. Then we have Uppsala University, Lund University, Gothenburg University, Umeå University, and University of Örebro. More universities like Dalarna University, but Dalarna is comparatively a low-ranked university. For public health students, for medical students, we prefer these universities we prefer, and we hope the people who are listening today, you will get enrolled in one of these universities. And in Finland, we have University of Applied Science, and in Denmark, we have University of Copenhagen for public health, and Southern University of Denmark. Application. The process of application in Norway, you have to apply to individually to every university, and there is I will come to that later, but because they have a portal system through which you have to apply in Norway, but for every university you have to apply individually. Like if you want to apply in University of Oslo, you have to open a profile in that portfolio, and then you have to go through it to apply for that university. Then if you want to apply to University of Bergen as well, then you have to actually open two portfolios and apply both through both of them separately. But Sweden is a slightly different one. If you have to open a portfolio in this link, universityadmission.ac, and through this link or this portfolio, you can actually apply to maximum 4 universities at a time. So if you are opening a portfolio in this in this link, I must say, or in this link, then you can apply 4 invoices at a time. You don't need to apply separately. For Finland, this is same as Sweden. You have to go through studyinfo.fi, and you can apply university 3 to 4 universities through that. And Denmark, again, it's same like Norway. You have to apply individually. Subjects. Which subjects actually we want to pursue our public health career? For medical students, a very good opportunity to pursue their career in a way of, in a dimension of public health or global health. And these are the subjects available in these renowned universities where you can apply actually. In Norway, if in University of Oslo, you have international community health, which is my subject. I have done my MPhil from University of Oslo, and my subject was international community health. You can apply for global health, but in on University of Oslo, you don't have this global health subject. Global health will be available in University of Bergen. So as I said earlier, you have to apply separately for each university. But if you open a portal for a specific university, you will be able to apply two or more subjects of the same university through a single portal. Like if you have global health and health and welfare for health policy, both subjects available in University of Bergen, then you have to open one single portfolio in Bergen University, and through that portal you can actually apply both of the subjects available in that university. Okay. And now in Sweden you have subjects like public health, generally public health, and masters in public health, masters in global health, and we have some variations as well. The third one you can see the specialization in health economics. The name of the subject is actually masters in public health with specialization in health economics. So you have actually a combination of two subjects here. So if you want to challenge yourself, you can take this subject as well. And for today, in today's world, actually, the demand of variations or specific dimensions are increasing. So I would suggest or recommend to pursue, challenge yourself, and apply for, like, not only the regular public health or global health. Go for public health, specialized health economics. We have these variations there, and you will be able to apply through university admission. And if you go, as I said earlier, if you open a portal in that portfolio, you will be able to apply 4 subjects at a time at 4 different universities. And for Finland, we have only one subject there, MSc in Public Health. And for Denmark, we have Global Health and Public Health both, but no specific dimensions like specialization in health economics. You will not get a subject like that in Denmark or Finland. Okay. Now we come to tuition fee, which is a very vital issue for us. A tuition fee for Norway, it's a very good news for all of us that in Norway they don't have any tuition fees. So if you are planning to apply for higher studies in Scandinavian countries, you can put Norway in a front line because they don't have tuition fees at all. So when you are going for studying MSc or MPhil to Norway, you have to only bear your living expenses. There will be no tuition fees. For Sweden, there is tuition fees, and it varies from university to university and from subject to subject, and it varies in between 17,000 euros to 3,20,000 euros, which in currency, in Bangladesh currency, it's a very huge amount to only pursue masters. This is only your tuition fees, then you have your living expenses. So before applying, please think about those things. But Sweden is a very good country for applying for masters, only because they have very good scholarship opportunities, and they provide full funded scholarships which include your tuition fees and living expenses as well. So here you can see the tuition fees is very high, but you have higher chances or more opportunities to apply for scholarships as well. So please put Sweden in a front line as well. And for Finland, here again, the scholarship, the tuition fees is about for 15,000 to 34,000 euros, and this is actually for per semester. First semester you have to. Okay. Now begin with, and for Finland, one thing I actually forgot to include there, I want to include there. For Finland, you have to go through an interview session, and based on which you will be offered scholarship, and they will offer you from like 25, 50, 75, and up to 50, 100% scholarship actually you can get if you are um, like promising in the interview. They will offer you 100% in scholarships as well for Finland. For Denmark, the tuition fees, you can see it's like 10,000 to 20,000 euros per semester. Scholarship opportunities, as I said, in Norway you don't have any tuition fees, so there will be no scholarship opportunities as well. In Sweden you have two scholarships. This one is one scholarship is from every individual universities. When you will apply for different universities, they will give you opportunity to apply for uh, uh, their own scholarship, which will be offered from the universities only. And there is another one, SISGP, that is Swedish Institute, formerly known as SI Scholarship, commonly SI Scholarship, that will be offered from Swedish Institute, and that is full funded. From university you will get that scholarship will be cover only your tuition fees, but SI scholarship, Swedish Institute scholarship, will like cover your tuition fees and your living expense or visa expenses, everything. Okay. Then in Finland, yes, again you have, as I mentioned, you have to go through an interview, and they will offer based on your interview the amount of scholarship whatever they want to offer you. And in Denmark, you have only scholarship from individual universities. There is no scholarship opportunities from the Danish embassy or in Danish institute, and that scholarships will be offered only in autumn sessions. Okay, so deadline for Norway, this is very high time. This is like beginning of October, and this is a high time. You should gather all your copies, all your documents ready for Norway, because it's opening very soon. From October 16 it will be open, and it's a very like, rare window, and within this window period you have to submit all your documents. So October 16 is the date when the admission will be open, and the deadline is December 1st. So November 30th, midnight 12, the portals will be closed, and for this year's admission portal will be closed. So you have only 1 month and 15 days for it. Work on it. Sweden, they gave a bit wider window period for application. It will also open by end of October or mid October, and the deadline for application or for admission is January 15. But for scholarship deadline, that may vary for university to university. That will say later in our later slides. And for Finland, the spring session will, the deadline is February 1st. For Denmark as well, the session application deadline is 1st of February. So first we'll start in details. In our today's session, we'll be describing or putting emphasis on Norway and Sweden mainly. So now we are moving towards Norway. This is Northern Lights, very popular Northern Lights. If you have seen it before, I think in the internet's very popular photos. These are very common in Norway. I'm just showing these things to you to motivate you that if you go to Norway, if you are able to make it, you can see these things very easily. Okay, Norway. And the procedure, as I said before, you have to open a portal for getting admission in Norway, and this is the web address, right? Soknads web. If you write Soknads web, and you will get this link for all universities. You will get this Soknads web for University of Oslo, for University of Bergen, for Oslo Met University. Every university have this website, and from if you want to apply to University of Oslo, then the website will be soknadsweb.no or UIO. Or if you want to apply to the University of Bergen, the website will be soknadsweb.ub, UIB. So like that, whichever in whatever university you choose, you go through this portal system. And for Norway, you actually don't need anyone to help you, or you don't need to go to any consultancy centers. You can do it yourself. It's very formative way and very easy steps. Just gather all these papers and documents, and you are good to apply yourself. So the first one, the documents what you need are like, just uh, see carefully. You have 8 documents. You have to submit these 8 documents for Norway. In whatever university you apply, you need these basic 8 documents. Number one is your CV, and this is your updated CV till today, what you are doing, what your experiences are. You just briefly add all of those things. Try to put all your public health exposures, and if you have done any voluntary work or any anything related to public health field, your organizations, like you can add here any conferences you attended. If you have any publications, everything you can add in their CV, and it must be very informative, because by seeing your CV, they don't know you. This is the thing, and this is your mirror picture to them. So you have to present yourself through your CV. So be careful while preparing your CV, and try to put all relevant things there, and updated one. Okay. Number two is undergraduate certificates. Undergraduate certificates, that means your if you from the school and high school certificates. And you have to, if you go to Soknat's web, there you can see how to label these things. When you make a folder name which will contain your undergraduate certificates, they will give you one link that you have to name it by in their format. So just put make gather all these documents like your university, undergraduate certificates, scan it and name it as they want. Then just upload it. Same bachelor certificate, your bachelor certificates, like from where you have got your MBBS certificate, and that university certificate only, not transcript, only certificate. That certificate, you just scan it and name it as they want. Number 4 is passport. So for now, if you are applying for Norway, you need a passport which must have 6 months validity, because when you are applying, if you don't have a validity, it will be a negative point for you, and the panel, the decision makers will think that you will not be able to come, like go to Norway if you don't have a valid passport. So it's better if you submit a passport which have validity of at least 6 months, because within 6 months you will be applying this October to December, and your results will be, admission results will be published by April 2021, and within that period you can actually make another passport. So be careful about that. It's not mandatory, but it will give you a bit more points, I think. What I have seen in the past few years, and I have been going through all so many applications, and I noticed that, I observed that they put a bit emphasis on this. So try to submit a passport which have 6 months validity at least. Number 5, we have number 4, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sorry. Number 5, experience letter. Next one, experience letter. And in this experience letter, again, you have to be very informative. And this experience letter, actually, you can take from your recent or current employer, or the last one, or which one you think is really relevant for this study subject. Like if is it like if you are now doing a job with migrants, and before you have done as a you have worked as a research assistant for 6 months. Now you decide, like, in which subject you are applying now. Are you applying for a global health subject, or are you applying for public health, or applying for international community health? So which one is more relevant with your current experience? Try to submit that one. Or you can choose between which one is longer. Actually, it's a bigger period. If you have worked for, like, in one organization, like, for 3 years, and now recently you have joined in a new organization and working for 2 months, it's better to submit the experience certificate from your previous employer, which will give the university selection committee that you have worked actually for a longer period in this specific field. So try to be careful while submitting this one, experience certificate. Then the very important one, the IELTS score. So for University of Oslo, the minimum score is actually 5.5, but this minimum score 6 is for University of Bergen. And University of Oslo, they always say the basic requirement is 5.5, but they will choose students who have actually IELTS higher IELTS scores. So this is only a baseline. If you have a IELTS score of 6, you are now only eligible for applying all universities in Norway. But if you have higher scores, you have higher chances to be admitted in any university of Norway. Number 7. Okay, so this is very important. This is bank statement. and you need to be very clear about this. Bank statement, as I said, there is no tuition fees in Norway. So you have to show that you are eligible for bearing your living expenses throughout the year or throughout the whole study period. And for that, they have calculated one amount, and in, in Bangladesh currency, the amount is about taka 12 lakh, and you have to show this amount or in your bank account for at least 1 or 2 months, and this bank statement should be submitted with your all documents. And this is actually a very important document, because this will decide that they will uh, give you opportunity to go to Norway or not, because only they don't need any tuition fees. But if you are not able to bear your living expenses, they are sorry okay, a bank statement. So there if you are not able to show them that you are not able to bear your living expenses, they will not give you the chance to apply for or give you to ruin us some seat for where another potential student can actually get admission to that. So be careful about this, and you have to show at least 1 or 2 month bank statement which in your bank account, which will contain Bangladesh taka 1 lakh 12 lakh. Okay, the last one is motivation letter. Motivation letter is very important in a sense. It will show your eagerness, your potentiality, your contribution to specific fields, and this will also decide that what you actually can do in this specific field, in field of public health, global health, community health. And this is your like expression of your heart. And as much as I know, University of Oslo, they have one monitoring committee, who are there appointed only to read your motivation letters. So if you think you will just write anything or just write a motivation letter casually, you will, I afraid you will lose your opportunity to get admitted in University of Oslo at least, or any university in Oslo. So in motivation letter, what I have said in terms of CV as well. In CV, you can just put everything in bullet points, but in motivation letter, you have to write that saga, that okay, who are you. So you can write motivation letter in so many ways. We have in our net so many formats of motivation letter, but one thing you have to remember, your story is unique. So you have to express yourself through this letter. What you have said in, what you have pointed in CV, you have to now elaborate all those things. Like if you have said one bullet point in CV that you have worked as a volunteer in BIMSSCON or some IFMSA, then in motivation letter you have to describe it, that why you are connected with that organization, what you have learned from it, what you have gave to them, what you have gained from them, and what are your plans after having experience to be with that organization, and how it will enrich you, and how you can contribute after uh, being associated with this type of organizations. And now why you want to learn, study in that university, why that specific degree, or what that this post graduation is very important for you, what changes you can bring after pursuing this. So these things, this answer should be there, and then you will get a like content and rich motivation letter, which will be very beneficial, like, which will be helpful for you to get a place in reputed university in Norway. So these are the letters or documents you will need for for getting admission in Norway. Very specifically, just before applying, you just make sure you have all these documents ready. We have a very short window period for applying in Norway, and it's starting very soon, so just work on it and try to get all the papers ready. First of all, you have to I'm just repeating again, first of all you just open an account in Sokna's Wave. In if you want to if you want to apply in University of Oslo, just go for soknanswave.uio, or if you want to go for University of Bergen, then you just type soknanswave.uib, University of Bergen. And then you will go for individual subjects, you will get all this information, and this is very formative way. You will not need anyone's help, just go through the website, and one by one the website will direct you, and just in the final stage, just update all your documents. Okay, so now we will just move on to our next country, that is Sweden. So before going to that, let's see what we have from Sweden. This is Gothenburg, Sweden. This is, I think, the second largest city, I guess. Yeah, I'm sure. Second largest city in Sweden. You can see how beautiful it is. This is summertime. Actually, Europe is really beautiful, and it has its own charm for every season. In autumn, in summer, in winter, you have different season, and every season is beautiful. In every season it looks very different and uniquely beautiful. So I hope you will be able to visit one of those cities as well, and if you are lucky, you will be admitted to University of Gothenburg as well. So now we'll just move on to the documents we will need for Sweden. Okay, so for Sweden, for Norway, what we said, we had our Toknads web, and Toknads web was individual for every university. But in Sweden, we have a very general portfolio, and which is universityadmission.ac. If you open a portfolio here, if you open an account in this portfolio, you will be able to apply at a time in 4 universities in 4 different subjects. So this is a slightly different one from Norway and easier. So this is the link. Just try to remember it or copy it or whatever. Just go through this admin, this portal, and then you will be able to select your subject, your universities. When you go through this portal, when you open this portal, you will get a list of all universities of Sweden, of all subjects. But be careful when you are choosing your subject, because in Sweden you will get scholarships in the subjects which have 120 credits. If you go through this portal, you will see, you will get so many subjects, so many universities. They will offer public health, masters in public health 60 credits, masters in global health 40 credits, 10 credits, health economics 30 credits. They have so many offers, but if you choose one of those things, you will be not eligible for scholarship offered from Swedish Institute. So when you are choosing your subject, please choose carefully and choose those subjects or those programs which have 120 credits and in campus. These 2 things you have to keep in mind. It must be in campus, and number 2, it must have 120 credits. Without 120 credits, you will be not eligible for applying for scholarship offered from Swedish Institute. Now come to the document section. Documents, number one is bachelor certificate. So this is a bit technical thing. Bachelor certificate and transcript. Let's see, if you see, there is two. I have separated 2 points. One is bachelor certificate and one is bachelor transcript. From whenever, in whichever university you have done your graduation here, you will get two papers from the university. One is your certificate and one is your transcript. For the Sweden, sorry, for Norway, you got only certificate, and that is the thing you have to upload only. But for Sweden, uh, if you go to this portal, you have to upload only the certificate thing. For the transcript, this is a bit technical thing. For the transcript, you have to get it from the university itself. So the first thing is you have to go to your university, and you have to apply there for and a sealed envelope from the university. The university will put your transcript, certified transcript, your certified transcript from the registrar building or registrar office. That sealed, that stamped or certified transcript, they will put in an envelope, and that envelope cover will be sealed with the cover will be sealed with university stamp, and that full envelope you will put in a like by DHL or any courier service. You have to send it to university, and that address will be there in this portfolio. You will get that address, in which mail address, you need to send it. You will get that address in this portfolio. But I am saying it again, just listen carefully, because this transcript paper is not delivered on time or properly. I have seen so many students who are potential students are like lose their chances or to get admission in Sweden, because they don't know the procedure how to send this transcript to Sweden. So first of all, you have to go to the university and ask them, apply there for a transcript which is sealed by the registrar, which is certified by the registrar. Then you ask the university to issue an envelope. And on the envelope, there must be the name of the university written. The name of the university must be written on it. And then you put the certified transcript letter inside the envelope and request them to put a seal on the envelope cover, and they will just seal it, and after that you can't open it, right? And this whole piece of document you have to send to Sweden by regular mail, and that mail address you will get in this portfolio. Be careful about this. And then number three is passport. Again, you have to have a validity of at least 6 months for your passport. Number four is your experience letter. Number five, IELTS. IELTS score in Sweden, there was an exemption before, that if you can submit a paper from your university that your bachelor curriculum was, the medium of instruction was in English, then you were exempt to submit your IELTS score. But now in this rule is bit changed, so there is no alternate to other than English proficiency test, and the most common is IELTS. And for most of the universities, the score is actually 6, but there are few universities which will accept IELTS score 5 as well. But it's safe to score a bit higher, which will increase your chances for admission. And number 6, this is a very interesting thing. For Norway, you submitted one CV of whatever format you had actually, and there was nothing specific. But for Sweden, that universities you will choose, they will give you individual university CV template. You you can choose actually 4 university subjects, like one, if you like University of Uppsala, and you choose 3 subjects from Uppsala University and one from another, so you have actually 2 universities but 4 subjects. The thing, if you go through this portal, you can choose 4 study programs, and that 4 study programs can be from single university, can be from 4 different universities. So whenever you choose study program, from that study program or that university, they will send you, so they will send you a CV template, and you have to complete that CV template, and that CV templates are a bit lengthy and so much informative. You have to write very carefully and very potentially uh, and very technically actually. And with all those documents except from the transcript, you have to upload that onto this university admission essay in this portal. So these are 5 documents you have to upload there: bachelor certificate, passport, experience letter, IELTS score, and university CV template. And this transcript you have to deliver by regular post. And now the deadline for Sweden, I have said it before, they have a bit longer window period for admission window, which will start October 16. Today is already October 6. We have only 10 days left for admission opening, and it will end by January 15. I am saying this one on the basis of this year 2020's reference. I don't know which date they will decide for the next session's deadline, but for last 4 years I am like observing it, and it always ends by January 15, like second week of January. So for this year also, we can assume that it will again end by January 15 or second week of January. And so you will get at least October, November, December, January, at least 3 months to submit all your documents. And by this time, you can actually change your university subject study programs how many times you want. No matter what, you can choose as many times as you want. You can change it at the very last moment as well. No worries. But if you choose these things earlier, you will get more time to complete this CV template, because you need actually much time and concentration to fulfill it. So if you are changing it at the very last moment, you will not get much time to complete that CV template properly or with emphasis. So it's better to go through. This portal is actually now open, and you can go through the subjects. This admission is not open yet, but portal is open. If you go to the program portal, you can see the list of programs there, and there will be more than 100 of study programs, and you can just primarily choose or determine which one you want to apply, and you can make prepare your documents according to that. And when after 16th October, You can just apply or choose your study program, and then you will get CV templates from the universities. You can just start fulfilling them and upload it within the deadline. Okay, so this was only the admission procedure or the documents necessary for admission to Swedish universities. Now we can move into scholarship one. That what documents you will need to apply for a scholarship in Sweden. As we said before in the beginning of our presentation or our session, we have mentioned two scholarship. One was a scholarship from the individual universities, and another was SISGP, which was commonly known as Swedish Institute Scholarship. Now SISGP is for Swedish Institute Scholarship for Global Professionals, that which stands for SISGP. Okay, so if you get a scholarship from the university, that will cover your tuition fees only. You still have to bear your living expenses. But if you are eligible, or if you are a winner of SISGP scholarship or Swedish Institute scholarship, they will cover your tuition fees, cover your visa fees, cover your health policies, cover your living expenses, and they will actually give you, if you say in Swedish krona 10,000 Swedish kron, um, which is actually enough, or I must say a bit more than enough to bear your living expenses monthly. So monthly they will provide you by Swedish kroners 10,000 for your living expenses, and the tuition fees will be completely off. So for Swedish, when you apply, there is one more thing for when you are applying for your university scholarship. You can apply for a university scholarship if that university is your priority number one. We have I said it before also, in one application you can apply for four different study programs. If your study program is at your priority number one, you are able to apply for that study program only, while while applying for individual university scholarship. For Swedish scholarship, you can apply for four different study programs, but for individual university scholarship, you are only allowed to apply for that if your study program is priority number one. For example, if I choose four study programs. Number one is, okay, I have chosen public health in Lund University. Number two, global health in Uppsala University. Number three, public health in Umeå University, and number four is public health in Umeå University with health economics. So you will be eligible for applying a Swedish Institute scholarship for these four study programs, but you will be eligible for university scholarship only for Lund University, because Lund University Public Health, that study program is your priority number one. So before applying, just think again or make your mind that in which university you actually want to study and which study program you want to choose. Put it in number one, priority number one, and there are like high chances in which your priority number one, you will be selected only for that one. And when you are selected for one study program, other three study programs will be invalid. So if you are determined that you want to pursue your career in public health in Lund University, put that one in number 1 priority. Only then you will be eligible to apply for Lund University Global Scholarship that is offered from Lund University. Then there will be other scholarships from Umeå University, from Uppsala University. You can't apply for those scholarships because these study programs are not your priority number 1. Okay. But for Swedish Institute scholarship, you can apply in whatever priority list it is. If it is year number 4 also, you can apply for that. Okay. For SIGP, Swedish Institute scholarship, when it will be open, the deadline for admission is, I said, for admission deadline for Swedish universities is 15th January. So from 15th January to February 3rd, you will get a period. In that period, there is no deadlines. In that period, you are not eligible to apply for any scholarships as well. The Swedish Institute will open their scholarship admissions for only 10 days. Before it was February 1st to February 10th for last, like in 2016 and 17, no, 16, 17 and 18. 19 and 20. These 2 years they have changed it a bit, and now the deadline and the window is February 4th to February 14th. The number of days are same, only the dates are a bit changed. Now the deadline is February 4th to February 14th. In between these 10 days, you have to submit all your necessary documents for necessary for Swedish Institute scholarship. So let's see what documents you will need other than what you have already submitted for admission. Now you have to submit separate documents for scholarship. Number 1 is Europass CV. This Europass CV. Europass is a format of writing CV. If you Google it, I don't know how many of you know about it, but if you go through it, Europass CV, you will get a 3-page format of CV, writing a CV. The 4th page must be your passport. I know you have already submitted your passport in the portal with 6 months validity, but in Europass CV you have to include your passport as well, and that will be the page number 4. Europass CV is always 3 pages, and the 4th page you have to include your the first page of your passport, valid passport, as a 4th page. So this is your Europass CV. If you go through the format, you will see Europass CV is not difficult, but a bit different what we are doing commonly in our country. We don't usually use it, but it's not very difficult one. I must say, you just download one of the formats and try to fill it up. You have still so many months, but if you just download it and go through it, you will see how you have to put your things in the CV. It's very easy, but a bit different. Okay. Number 2 is reference letter. Reference letter in format. They will provide when you are applying for a Swedish Institute scholarship. They will provide you. Actually, they will not provide you. There are new formats or new formats available on their website already. Just now, the name of the year is 19 and 20. So next year when they will publish, the things will be same, format will be same, only the name of the year will be changed. That will be study year 2021. So if you download it now, you can see, you can just prepare it and just make it prepare for you, and when the new format will arrive, you can just copy and paste it in the new format and get your paper ready. That reference letter, you have to there is a thing you have to be careful about, and it is you have to put the signature and official seal, signature and official seal of your referee, and you will be submitting two different format, two different letters. The format is same, but you will be submitting two different reference letters from two referees, and both of them have to sign and put their official stamp on the bottom of your letter. Other without that official seal and signature, the letter will be invalid. So be careful about that. Don't forget to take the official stamp. Some people will not have their official stamp. In that case, you can put the official stamp of the organization. Like if someone is working with WHO and they don't have a stamp of by their own name, you can put the stamp of WHO itself and he can sign it as well, and that will make that letter valid. So without official stamp, your letter will, the reference letter will not be accepted. Okay. Number 3 is work experience and proof of leadership format. So, and here you can see I have mentioned a number of hours. That is 3,000 hours at least. For this experience letter and proof of leadership, they will provide formats as well, as like reference letter. They have formats of work experience and proof of leadership as well. You just go through the SIGP Swedish Institute scholarship website. The formats are available there. Just download it and um, fill that papers and get signed from your supervisors. And the work experience, you can actually submit 3 work experience letters and 2 letters of proof of leadership. And in this case also, the signature and official stamp is a must. And for work experience and proof of leadership, you have to be very careful because you need to calculate the hours. So usually we are counting in like years or months, but for SI scholarship, you have to calculate it in hours. And if you don't have 3,000 hours in total, your work experience and leadership experience, 3,000 hours for work experience and 3,000 hours for leadership separately, you can prove it through the same work experience. Like if you are working in any organization and for more than 1 year, the hour of working is more than 3,000 hours. So this will calculate you, this will be calculated in your work experience. But if you are working there as a leader, then you can put this experience, same hours for your proof of leadership as well. Or better, if you can show it or you can prove it by some other experiences as well. And for work experience and leadership experience, SI's Swedish Institute will like very much, they are very much fond of volunteerships, volunteership organizations and all those things, and they extracurricular things they are very much interested in actually. So when, if you are doing working experience, you are having a working experience in something specific, or you are doing a specific job, and try to prove your leadership from a volunteer organization. That will be that will add more points to your CV, or points to as a, or put you in a higher rank as an applicant. So be careful about that, and I'm saying it repeatedly often, because we have seen so many students, they don't know how to calculate hours. So if you assume that 1 year is 52 weeks, and weekly you are working 40 hours, 40 hours maximum, or 48 hours. If you are working 48 hours weekly, then just multiply it by 52. That will calculate your yearly work experience in hours. So in 1 week, how many work hours you are working? It can be 40, it can be 48. Just multiply it with 52. That will give you the exact number of hours in a year, how much you have worked. And if you are working for only 1 year at least, the experience, the hours will exceed easily 3000 mark. So there is nothing by seeing 3000 hours, it's not a big time schedule. Just you have to calculate it a bit carefully and technically. Number 4, okay, motivation letter in format. This is the most important thing for Swedish Institute scholarship, and this is the letter which will decide you will be like awarded that scholarship or not. So be very careful about this motivation letter. They will give you format, and there will be 2 to 4 different questions, and you have to answer it with word limits, and try to uh, motivate them through your motivation letter. And the one of the most common questions of our previous years was, what are your plans? One of the questions from the motivation letter, like, what are your plans after achieving this degree, or after completing your this study program? uh, Whoever have written that I want to pursue my PhD, or I want to be in Sweden or something like that, none of them got awarded ever. You have to always be technical with that, just try to write that I will go back to my country. I am here only to pursue this very like high potential study program, and after achieving this degree, I will go back to my country and imply all of my knowledge to improve my health, the health condition, healthcare facility, or whatever in my country. I want to contribute in my country's health system. That will make difference. Never ever put that thing that I want to stay in Sweden, I want to pursue a PhD in Sweden or something. No further, no future plans. Don't put any future plans related to Sweden in your motivation letter. That's a personal request and tips that will like reduce your chances by 50 folds if you include this type of words in your motivation letter. Always try to show them that you are there only to pursue that study program, only to enrich yourself, and after that you will go back to your country and you will imply all your knowledge to improve your health system in your country. So these are the 4 things you have to submit for a Swedish Institute scholarship. Number 1 is again Europa CV. Number 2 is reference letters. 2 letters you have to submit. Work experience and proof of leadership. You can submit up to 3 work experience and 2 leadership proof of leadership. And number 4 is motivation letter. So these 4 documents you will get and you have to upload to for Swedish Institute. They have their different website, and when the admission will open, you will be able to enter that website and you can get access to that. And through if you go to this university admission AC, from there you will get a password, and with that password you can actually enter to Swedish Institute website, and you will be able to upload all your documents. For the scholarship individual, okay, so this was scholarship for Swedish from Swedish Institute, and we have another one. Every university, what I have said, if you are applying for individual university scholarship, you are eligible only if that university is your priority number one, and for that you have different deadlines. Last year, like Gothenburg University, the deadline was 10th February. So for every university, the deadline is different. When you will apply for a university, they will inform you that what is the deadline for university, individual university scholarship deadline, application deadline. So this was all about applying in Sweden and Norway. We don't have much about Finland and Denmark, but I will like recommend you guys all to apply to these two countries. The Sweden is really immigrant friendly and a very nice place to study and live actually. And Norway is okay. Norway is different. It's not so much immigrant friendly, but a very nice place to be. I hope you will get most of the students or most of the viewers who are watching me today. You will get a place in those universities what I have shown. Um, Universities don't always think that this university is high ranked, this is a very good university, I don't want to study in that one. Don't always be in that rat race. In which country you are, just think, compare with that, from where you are going to which countries. Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark, that is first world countries. Any university of those countries are much better than where you are now. So if you are not studying in Karolinska, you are not studying in University of Oslo, don't think Gothenburg University is less potential. So whatever university you are getting enrolled in, try to be yourself, try to flourish yourself. If your results are, your points or your grades are best in your university, that will matter. Not only that, if you are in a high ranked university and you are getting poor grades, that will not affect your career. So don't bother about that, and I will say all the best to all of you, and I'll hope you will be benefited from this session. And if you have any queries, you can just contact to me through BIMSSCON. Thank you.